Every once in a while I get the urge to watch a good old-fashioned monster flick. Now you've got your cult classics like Jaws, I quite like Lake Placid, but generally the consensus is, when you're trying out a new one, it tends to end with negative results. Thankfully, not the case here. This crocodile horror set in the Australian outback isn't anything special, but it is far, far better than plenty of other similar films that are out there. It doesn't overuse the crocodile. In fact, it's the extended wait before actually seeing it for the first time that elevates that suspense and tension. The film doesn't start off with the beast mauling a couple of extras like you may expect. It takes its time and builds up to its eventual reveal. So how does this group of tourists gain the attention from this aggressive beast? The film starts with Michael Vartan's Pete, an American travel writer, arriving at a local tourist spot. He hops onto the next river tour and sets off merrily upriver. We spend the first 20 to 25 minutes or so getting ourselves acquainted with everyone on board. Radha Mitchell's tour guide Kate was in charge of the group as she took them through the beautiful and awe-inspiring scenery that surrounded them. There's a few stereotypes, sure, but the odd couple of small touches here and there, such as when Russell pours some ashes into the river, helps deepen some of the film's characters. But it wasn't until it was time to head home when things began to go wrong. A distress flare was spotted upriver as Kate had to make the tough call as to return for backup or head towards it along with all of her passengers. And after reluctantly taking the latter option, everyone soon realised they stumbled into the wrong territory. From then on, after being nudged and being forced to land on a small mud island which would soon be submerged from the tidal waters, the stranded tourists had to find a way of navigating their way to safety. The first attack was as swift as it was sudden, and the most frightening of all, you don't even see it. Everett was gone in the blink of an eye, and all we got was a glimpse at the crocodile's tail. That is how you start things off. Soon afterwards, hope arrived in the form of Neil and Colin, which was quickly squashed with a fast attack on the pair's boat. Sam Worthington's character survived that encounter as the brave son of a bitch tried to devise a plan to save every one of them. But the group would have to act fast because the water was still rising. Something that Rogue has going for it is its unpredictability. You could see near enough anyone from its cast getting picked off. Neil was a bit of a shock, and Radha Mitchell, despite being a lead, doesn't exactly have a great track record in these sorts of films. So you really couldn't predict who could be offed next. And in the final showdown when the 2-ton croc was on display for everyone to see, I was actually impressed. The CGI was well done and the croc looks realistic enough and acts like a territorial creature for it to be in the realms of believability. Overall, it's a decent flick and worthwhile the time to spend an hour and a half with.
What's wrong with the bite?
My final verdict for Rogue, I would give it a 7 out of 10. I really did like this film and I would watch it again. No, it's not anything original, nor is it the best in the world, but if you're here to watch a horror monster film, Rogue delivers exactly that. Some good performances from the leads and a couple of really well crafted scenes excel in having you on the edge of your seat. The whole spectacle is enhanced by the film's eerie sound design. And as for the CGI, it is definitely above average. The croc is menacing when it's shown off. Surprisingly good, as a matter of fact. Out of the film, the most memorable moment that stuck with me the most was when Neil knew he had no other choice but to get in the water. He began thinking the worst as soon as he even came up with the idea. And once he was in there, I was just waiting for the inevitable. But when it didn't come, I was genuinely surprised. You knew they wouldn't be home and hosed because there was far too much running time left. So at this point I was honestly expecting the croc to burst out of the water and grab someone off that rope. Sam Worthington did well to convey his sense of fear alongside his determination. He began the film as a bit of an arsehole, and in the end, sadly, he died a hero. Now for all the positives I've gone into, we did get some utterly baffling character decisions. And ironically, most of them occurring around Neil's previously mentioned scene. Mary Ellen saying, "Can I go first?" Like, really? Really, lady? Everyone else is in the same situation as you, and would you have guessed it? She fucking stalled. Awesome! And that wasn't the best of it. When, whatever his name, the father of that family forced his daughter onto the rope and then got on it himself, had me just shaking my head saying, what the fuck are you doing? It got Neil killed, fuck you guy, and it got himself killed. That one, deserved. You could argue it maybe starts off a tad slow, as the first real action you don't run into until the third of the way through the film. But its way adds to the suspense, which is no questions asked the film's best quality. If you like these sorts of films, I would definitely give this one a watch. It's grounded and it's not particularly bloody, so if you're a bit squeamish in that department, you can rest easy with this one. Rogue was not a hit in its initial release, and it will have slipped under plenty of people's radars. So if you haven't seen it yet, go and check it out. And after you have, or you've seen it already, let me know your thoughts down in the comments. And as always, thank you very much for watching. Please leave a like, comment and subscribe if you enjoyed the review. And I'll see you on the next one.